Hello everybody, my name is Thida and I'm one of the speech pathologists that work at KUI Speech Pathology, and on the 21st of March we have a really important day coming up, World Down Syndrome Day. And so in light of this really special day where we get to celebrate the unique perspectives and creative ideas that this lovely community brings to everybody in the world, we will be putting together this video of some different strategies to help develop the communication skills of people with Down syndrome, as well as some tips on things you can add to daily interactions if your child with Down syndrome is already speaking but is having some difficulties being understood or getting their words out in a way where people can then understand them. And so before jumping into these tips and recommendations, what I do urge is that first and foremost, if you're wanting support developing your child's communication skills, please engage with a speech pathologist, because just like any other person in the community, individuals with Down syndrome have their own unique profile of strengths, abilities, and challenges that they need support with. And so in liaising and working closely with a speech pathologist, they will help to unpack your child's unique profile, understand what strengths they have that you can then expand on and use to enhance other skills that they have, as well as to identify what particular skills are of the greatest challenge and that can be developed. And so making sure you've got a speech pathologist will be your first port of call. All right, jumping into our strategies. The first strategy, if you're looking to develop your child with Down syndrome's communication skills, is to get down on their level. So if they're playing on the floor or they're really short, you want to get down nice and low, because then it's a lot easier for you to be seeing what the child's looking at and what they're interested in. Then you can talk about it and teach them the vocabulary around this. And in turn, you being nice and down low and at their level is going to make it a lot easier for them to be looking to you and to be watching your face and reading your expressions, your lips, and the emotions you're showing while you're talking to them about whatever topic or toy they're playing with. While you're down there nice and low with your child, having a really animated face, so a nice big smile, a bright voice, and even some big gestures makes it a lot more interesting to have a look at you, and it engages the child, and so they're more likely to be watching your hands, what they're pointing to, and watching your face, so seeing what facial expressions you're showing and how your lips are moving, which will then help them to develop their speech and language skills. Something else you can use to help develop their communication skills is lots of visuals. And this can be anything. It can be having all the objects and items and toys right there in front of you. It can be having photos of some fun events and all of the items that they like. It can be pictures, symbols, diagrams. It can be drawings, anything that is just a visual representation of words and information you're trying to explain, discuss, or teach your child. This will have a really big impact on their learning because it allows them extra time to process what information is being given to them. It gives them a different format to learn their information in, and also having that visual representation there in front of them means they can use their own gesture by pointing or grabbing or giving or showing that item to you to then have their own format of expression if they don't yet have that word. So those would be our 3 top tips for developing communication skills if you're teaching them words and some little sentences. And then some different strategies for things you can add to help enhance the success and clarity of your child's speech would be, again, first, lots of visuals. And this can be the same as the teaching visuals. So you can have all the items present, you can have photos, pictures, drawings, diagrams, or even some symbol boards. Or you can liaise with your speech pathologist in developing some communication boards. We have very targeted and specific vocabulary with associated symbols. And having these pictures means that your child is able to then give you context around the words and sentences that they're trying to say to you. And so it will not be a replacement for spoken speech, but rather just something that they can be pointing or showing you to while they are speaking, so then you can better interpret the words they're trying to say and you're not having to ask or clarify as frequently. Something else you can do to help support your child if you're wanting to enhance their speech clarity is to make an All About Me book or series of books. An All About Me book is a personalized communication book, and it can either be a hard copy book like a photo album or a scrapbook that you glue pictures into, or you can use some apps such as Special Stories on an iPad and download this and upload all these pictures, drawings and photos to the app and make up a storybook that way. Having this About Me book means that the child has a bunch of visuals, so photos, drawings, pictures that are quite detailed, so a bit more than symbols, and they've got it there that they can grab, access and turn to certain pages when they're wanting to have a conversation with someone about a topic, and then your person who's listening has some nice context around the words and messages that the person with Down syndrome will be trying to explain, and therefore enhance the clarity. And then not only this, but having all of those pictures present there for the person who's trying to explain the stories and messages means that we're taking a bit of load off of their mind, because they're not having to remember as much information because they've got that visual support. And then all they have to do is focus on the words and organizing those into sentences. Communication and All About Me books can include anything about the child's personality, their interests, their likes and dislikes, as well as just some common activities they might do in their daily routine. So you can have a book about the child's likes and dislikes, and then have another book that's about school and everything they like there, a book about friends, some birthdays, and then some hobby books. And they're all there for the child to grab when they want to have a conversation. And then lastly, if you're feeling you need quite a lot of support because the speech sounds your child is producing are quite tricky to interpret, even with these extra visuals, what you can look to is accessing an alternative communication device. So this would be an augmentative and alternative communication system, or as speech pathologists often refer to it as an AAC system. And what this is it's a really robust communication method where you've got a lot and a whole range of vocabulary available to the user that they can either be pointing to or pressing as a supplement or replacement to spoken communication if their spoken speech is not the most effective method of speaking with other people. AAC systems come in two different formats. They can be a high-tech device, so they have technology. This can be something like an app on an iPad or a dedicated communication device, or they can be a low-tech system. So this is often a paper-based system where it's either organized in a book or a folder or file. And having this alternative form means that once your child is able to use it and navigate the different words, then they're able to be better interpreted and they can be understood, and they're free to then communicate any messages they like, and they're not impacted by people constantly asking them to repeat, or by the challenge of trying to pronounce and produce speech sounds that are really hard for them to organize together. I hope all those tips were really helpful. Of course, if you have any follow-up questions, any thoughts, or would like to discuss strategies or your child's profile more, please get in contact with Kui Speech either via our website, our Instagram, our Facebook, or via phone or email, which you can find online. And of course, if you would like to get involved in celebrating World Down Syndrome Day, what you can do is go to the website downsyndrome.org.au and register to participate in the event Lots of Socks, which will be occurring on World Down Syndrome Day. For this event, all it involves is people wearing really crazy, funny or mismatched socks to draw awareness to this, and then also as a conversation starter, so people see your socks and they think, why are you wearing those crazy socks? And then you can talk about Down syndrome and have a discussion about what it is, the supports, and raise awareness in the community. By going to the website, you can actually purchase some specific Down syndrome socks, and all that money that you use to purchase the socks goes towards your local Down syndrome association and funding them. But you don't have to buy the socks. You can just wear your own long, crazy, funny or favorite pairs of socks and start conversations this way. Thank you, everybody.